Hey everybody, so I'm gonna try to talk a little louder because I'm kind of far away from the phone and y'all know my voice is still messed up. But this is a part two from what I was talking about as far as how from the dream I was telling you guys about with God's love, and when he said that love was the only thing that was keeping me alive. And it's true, yeah, God's love is keeping me every single day. But I want to talk about a situation that happened to me years ago. I was like 16, and it ties into everything I'm saying, just as far as how God really, really kept me. Like, he's the reason that I'm still here. He's the reason that I'm still breathing. So I'll go back. I'm on, what street was that? I think it's called, forgive me if I pronounce it wrong, Regina Street. And I was hanging with some friends, hanging out that day or whatever. I was out there for a while. And we came into this guy. We was on our way to the store, and we ran into this guy. And the guy wanted to talk to me. And I kept telling the guy, like, for one, you're a grown man. I'm only 16, and I have a boyfriend. I had a boyfriend at that time. So it's going on and on and on and on. And I kept telling him, like, and I'm not trying to be rude, like, I really don't want to talk to you. You're way older than me, you know what I mean? And I have a boyfriend, like, it's not right. It's not working. So he just wouldn't let it go. He was going on and on. And I got quiet. I just stopped talking at that point because I'm like, okay, this dude's just really not giving up. So when I stopped talking, I just kind of put my head down, and he's like, oh, what? You looking at my clothes? Is it my clothes? I'm not dirty. I work. I got a house, this, that, and the third, which further proves my point. You're a grown man. Why are you trying to talk to me? So, to basically get him to, shut up and leave me alone, I'm like, okay, I'll take your number. Fine, I'll take your number. So he, got up, hurried up and ran in his house to go, I guess write his number down. I started walking off. One of the girls I was with, she, kept standing there. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm gonna wait and get his number. I said, I don't want his number. Like, let's go. She stayed. I left. So I'm gonna say maybe like 5 minutes later, she comes walking up the street, and she just had this look on her face that just didn't look right. And I'm like, what's wrong? And she said, girl, he was mad. And, on the inside, I'm like, okay, I said, okay. And then she says, no, like, when he came out, like, he didn't look right, like, he was mad. So again, I'm like, okay. So some time went on. I want to say maybe like 20-30 minutes later, I'm still standing there, I'm hanging out with my girlfriends at the time, and he comes walking up the street, that guy, and he has this guy with him that's in all black. So he didn't say anything. I noticed he whispered something into the dude's ear that he was standing with. I don't know what he told that man, but the look that man, when he whispered into his ear, the look that man gave me after he said whatever it is he said was a look of like, this person offed somebody you knew, or something crazy like that. So I noticed he started moving kind of like around, us, to kind of position himself. And I never knew what it meant when people would say, my life flashed before my eyes, until that day. I saw him starting to lift his hoodie, and I looked down, and at that moment, that's when everything just started going into slow motion. Like, I could hear my heart beating. It was just echoing. It was just, kind of loud. Everything was just going real slow. And I'm as it's come, like, lifting, and I see the gun coming out, it's like, it's still, everything's going really slow. And in my mind, I'm like, you're really going to have somebody kill me, all because I didn't want to take your number? So I'm sorry. So, like I said, everything's going really, really slow. I start seeing flashbacks of like, my childhood, me and my brothers, my sisters, my mom, my dad, you know what I mean? And I'm petrified, at this point, like, wow, I can't believe like this is about to happen. So he's moving in out of nowhere, out my, peripheral, on the left side, I see, my boyfriend at the time coming down the street from out the house. I was able to finally kind of like get myself together and snap out of it. And I ran over to him. I didn't want to tell him exactly what was going on at that point because I knew how he was, because I know he got a temper. So I'm crying. I'm like, please take me home. Please take me home. He's like, Sierra, what's wrong? What's wrong? I'm like, please just take me home. So he walked me home. We got there. And, that's when I broke down and told him everything, what happened, and everything. And, I made him promise that he wouldn't do anything stupid. So afterwards, he's like, just lay low for a while until, the air clears, you know what I mean? And, as far as coming back over that way, I'll just come here. I'm like, all right, cool. So some time goes on, like some weeks or whatever, and I decided to go over there because I'm like, I miss my friends, I want to hang out. So I happened to go over there, and I knock on the door, my friends aren't home. So as I'm leaving, I hear a male cousin of mine. I hear somebody saying, hey, cousin. So I turn around, it's my cousin. And I look, sitting next to him is the same dude that had whispered into that guy's ear. Like, the look on his face, oh my goodness, he literally looked like he was about to piss himself. Like, oh my gosh, is she about to, say something? That look honestly was enough for me to be like, you know what, I'm not gonna say nothing, you know what I mean? Plus, I don't like stirring up stuff. But he said, you being good? I said, yeah, I'm being good. But I kept, looking at the dude. And he was like, all right, well, get home. I said, okay, I'm going home now. When I tell you that right there, like as far as him saying like, okay, wait, this is her cousin. Like after that, that dude didn't even breathe in my direction. But I say all that to say that, just starting as even a young child, just some of the stuff that I've experienced, had to go through in a situation like that, was not, now that was the first time that a gun was drawn on me, but it was not the last time. I've had it happen times before. You know what? Hold on a second. No, that was the second time that it happened, because I had it happen before then when I was walking to a corner store. But just furthermore, just my point, just how the enemy has been working just since I was a kid, just really, really trying to take me out. You know what I mean? And when you got the enemy trying to put in overtime like that and work hard, like trying to take you out before you even reach, your destiny or reach a certain point, you might not realize what you have in you. You might not recognize, but trust and believe, he knows. So he wants to take you out before you even get to that point, because if you get to that point where you are in Christ, he knows he's in trouble. He knows his kingdom is in trouble, and so that's his tactic. That's his job, to kill, steal, and destroy. And he definitely was putting in overtime because he did not want me to reach that potential, that, place in Christ, But I thank God that I'm still here, that I'm still breathing, and that I'm able to worship, serve, and excuse me, I'm sorry, and to be able to talk about the Lord and hopefully bring others to Christ. So I love y'all and be blessed.